Hey, welcome back to our Caribou Data Science channel. And again, I'm going to say this is our channel, this is your channel, and this is my channel. But it's really about you more than me, okay? Because without you to watch these videos, there's no point in me even in doing this. But anyway, so I'm back on my favorite data sites, Our World in Data. If you're not familiar with this site, it's a phenomenal data repository site. All kinds of world issues, health, environment. I mean, pretty much anything has to do with our world, and it's possible to track data for. This has it. Okay, it's really just too much to even look at. I'm looking at one now called illicit drug use. Okay, and here it says illicit drug use is directly and indirectly responsible for 750,000 deaths per year. Illicit drug use is responsible for 585,000 premature deaths by increasing the risk of particular disease and injury. Over 160 die from drug overdose each year. Okay, so now as always, you come down here. Okay, substance, alcohol consumption, smoking. Come down here till you see the reports. Indirect deaths, drugs used as a risk factor. That's just total deaths from illicit drugs. Okay. Indirect drug use as a result. Okay. Direct deaths, drug overdose. And as you can see, there's just this massive collection of data here which we can download. Prevalence of drug use disorders. I mean, where do you where do you start with all this data? Disease burden from drug use disorders, opioids, amphetamine. I mean, for heaven's sakes, where do you we'll start? We're going to start with a new directory. This data here is just so there's just so much data here. It's really almost impossible to narrow it down. Our world in data. So we got this. And you can see we just got just tons and tons of data here already. Okay? Let's do this. I'm going to start something different here. I'm going to actually go start a data set. I'm going to create a new GitHub repository. Okay? Our world in data dash illicit drug use. Of course, I mean, there's so much data. It's like, where do we start? Okay, and it really is the truth. It's like, where do we start with this? With all these data sets. We could of course start at the top, right? Okay, we could start at the top. All right, files. Is it possible to new folder? Data. All right. Oh no, let's just start back at the top of the page. Okay. See exactly what the first data set we got here is. All our charts, opioids, details deaths from drug use. Download this. Okay. And this here is indirect deaths, drug use as a risk factor. Okay. And maybe direct drug use overdoses. Opioids were responsible for the largest number of deaths. What's this? Okay. Drug use disorders. Definition of drug use disorders. Drug use disorders, also known as drug dependency, is defined by the Institute of Health Metrics and Education. This is Washington University, based on the definition within the WHO International Classification of Diseases. Prevalence of drug use disorders. I mean, there's just so much data here on drug use. It's unbelievable. Okay. Deaths from drug use disorders. I'm not sure what this is, but let's just grab this anyway. You can never remember the well, remember Ahmad. You can never have as much. You can never have too much data. Disease burden from drug use. I'm not sure what that is, but we ought to grab that just in amphetamines, opioids, amphetamines, cocaine. Risk factors for drug use disorder. What's this here? Intermittent explosive disorder, attention deficit disorder. So you can see here what we got here is there's just a massive amount of data on unfortunately a very tragic definition of measurements, data sources, data, deaths daily, and prevalence, mental health, C, global burden. Okay. Now I can see we just got a massive amount of data here. Okay. I mean, look at this. Look at how many data sets we got here just from the list of drug use. I mean, the question, I mean, where do we even start? There really is some truth to that. I mean, there's just so much data here. It's like, where do we start? Where do we start? Well, we start by just coming over here and looking at so the best place to start is to start by opening up and looking at uh, well, you start by just open up some of the data, death rate from opioid use. Uh, what we got here? You start by opening up and just look at some of this. Look at some of the data. That's really what it boils down to. We're also comparing. We're also going to say, and just to make sure it's clear, okay, opioid deaths for this one here. We could easily probably come down here. Let's just try something like let's don't. We'll try something in a moment. Let's see death rates from drug use disorders. Death rates drug use disorders. deaths, use deaths. Okay, so these are fairly short uh, data sets, very easy to plot. Use overdoses. Okay, death opioids, death cocaine. Let's just get rid of that. Let's just check out here. See, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing here. Okay, these are all deaths. Amphetamines, other drug use. So we'll come in here. Since these are all uh, deaths, we're just going to say, okay, these are all deaths. So we'll come in and go fix up this here. Cocaine-related deaths. You know, anything you can do to make it easier to import your data into R is helpful. It's particularly if you can come in here and say, well, we're only interested in cocaine, so we only import that field. Okay, that's the only field to import. Okay, no point importing amphetamines or opioids if you're not interested in amphetamines. Okay, other drug use, other drug deaths. Okay, deaths, overdose deaths due to by age. So now this looks a little more complicated here. Drug use, of course, if it's all drug use. Okay, once again, since these are all deaths, you don't need to call them deaths. Okay. Okay. You know these are deaths. It's going to come over here. Now, I mean, you can see some very simple plots here stare us right in the face, right? Um, in that, okay, okay, age, okay. So let's just say, over 70 years of age, okay? Okay. Okay, where are we here? Okay, drug use disorders, drug use disorders. Okay, deaths of illicit drugs. Okay, once again, not sure what disability it is. Disability adjusted life years. Not really sure what that one is. Okay. Okay, this looks interesting. It's the opioid pain relievers. Now, we could start with something like this, okay, because it's a very simple data set. All right. I'm not sure what this any opioid CD1 means. We already have an opioid down here. Let's just call it other. We could probably do, let's see if we could do something like this. Okay. Prevalence. Prevalence, drug use disorder, prevalence to age 15 to 19. We basically got two columns here. So we can simply say male. Now, of course, what does prevalence mean? Okay. So prevalence can mean uh, how much something occurs. So you look down at your numbers, what we see is we see 2.07. Does that mean? Okay. Now prevalence would be easy enough to plot by year. Okay, by year. Okay. You're telling me we got so many data sets here. Prevalence, drug use disorders. Okay. We can start with something fairly easy. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So I'm probably going to just do a couple really quick things here. Library. Dplyr. Oh, what am I thinking of? This is for the So where do we want to start? Death rate. Okay, let's try that first of all. Let's take a look at opioids. Our world in data. Back over here. Death rate from okay. Let's come back over here. We're really just going to do a couple really simple things here, okay? Let's call it OP. Let's go OPIOID. OPIO. Opioids. Rate. Okay. Underscore CS. Okay. Let's take a look at this here. Entity, which is a country name, a country code, a year, and a opioid deaths, okay? So what can we do here? We can do a total by year, okay? There isn't a lot here. This is just a percentage rate, okay? A count wouldn't really do much good because in all probability. So if we wanted to do opioid deaths by year, okay? Opioid deaths by year, what would we do? Well, first of all, let's come down here. So you can see we got it. This is a percent, right? So does that mean, okay, let's do one more thing. Let's just do a rename. We're going to rename equals equals. I think this is the way it works. I mean, we know it's deaths. Rename. I wonder if this will work. Now, the advantage of rename over a call name is that as you can see, you can rename individual rows. So now we got to rename. So let's see if we can calculate yearly. Okay. So what's it going to do here? So we're going to say here, opioid rate. R1. OPIOID year. Okay. Let's summarize. Let's come back down here. Sum. Yes. Wait. Summarize. I got group by GRUP. And this is going to be by year. Then we're going to do an average. Or a mean. Sum. Opioid. Let's take a look here. Opioid yearly. Okay. So we'll try both. I'm not sure So let's do a plot. Let's do G, comma, X equals. Now this may not work out. Let's see exactly what happens. It certainly is. Okay. So this is a rate, but I'm not really sure that's the correct number we're looking for. Okay, because it's not a percentage. So let's do average. Let's do a percent. Continuous. Let's take a look at this. Well, that's interesting. So you're talking opioids since 1990 have increased by 110% worldwide. Okay. Equals worldwide. Opioid. This is called deaths. Right? So if this is correct, this means worldwide opioid deaths have increased by 110% since 1990. Okay? Let's calculate. Okay? All right, group by entity. See what else we can do here. Let's do this. ENTITY. ENT. ENT. Okay, very good. Let's do a total. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to group by country. All right. Let's try this now. Country totals. Who has the highest rate? Now, what we could do is we can take this average here and say any average greater than, say, less than. Let's try this. Let's try. So we want any percentage. Okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to take country totals. Okay. Pass this to a filter on a rate. No, average. 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 Greater than or equal to. Right. Country rates. Let's say greater than or equal to 3. Equal to 3. Okay. We'll pass this to GGPOT. AES, comma, X equals country, y equals. Let's see how this looks. Okay, let's do CORD flip. Now, could we do an SCT reorder? What's the FCT reorder package part of? Let's try some. Okay, so let's try this. Forgets. Let's try this. Reorder. Okay, so let's put down. Let's put. I'm not exactly sure if this is how this works, but let's see. But I know David Roberts uses this a lot. Oh, let's be a factor. Oh, this must be a factor. Okay, let's try this. Let's try. What would happen if we did a? I can't remember how to do it. Reorder. Is it here? Nope, we didn't write the argument. You know what I think you do is, this is Begley comes back into me. Comma. Okay, 1, 2. Much better. Much, much, much average. Now, what is this? Average is actually a percent, right? Okay, so. And this is probably going to be my last report for tonight. Okay. Underscore. Continuous. Can this really be right? Right? Because I'm looking at average. So I did an average of the. Okay. So, so what does that mean there? I have to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what this is. If you have a suggestion of what this actually represents, be sure to post a comment below. And I'm going to call quits on on part one. I'll be back probably tomorrow night. Continue to take a look at these questions here, and continue to take a look at the various levels of drug use in the world and, of course, in the U.S. Thanks so much for your time. Don't forget, this is our YouTube channel. Caribou Channel belongs to you, and it belongs to me. Okay? I do this for you. Okay, so don't forget to share the Caribou Data Science channel with. Don't forget to share the Caribou Data Science channel with one other person this week. Okay, if they're interested in COVID-19 analysis, I got you covered. If you're interested in sort of random looks at our world and data, I got you covered. Okay, thanks so much for your time. We'll catch you on a later report.